Okay, what's up today? Today I'm going to be doing another episode of High Minds, and let me give you a little bit of a rundown since we still are on some of the early episodes. This is going to be a podcast where I just talk about a lot of different interesting things such as cannabis and martial arts. Those are going to be the main topics, but definitely more topics will be added in the future. But let's get into it. Um, I actually just dropped a bunch of different videos in the past couple days. One of them I just dropped today was talking about salt weed or salt that's added into weed. It's actually this weird thing that they add into weed that doesn't smell good. It doesn't taste good, and it just really isn't proper to be adding into the plant. So that's just a quick rundown of it. So if you want to hear more about that, go check out that video. But I also did a video about small batch cannabis. I did a video talking about is lemon cherry gelato and runts the same thing. And I also did a video talking about influencer weed. But um, as you can see, we've been doing a lot of different documentary style videos and just cannabis topics lately. So we're definitely going to be covering a lot of those topics in the near future. So if that interests you, then you're gonna definitely love what's coming. But let's talk about some martial arts slash boxing topics before we get into the cannabis topics. There was actually this really crazy fight that just happened last night. It was just pure violence. It was between Mike Perry and Eddie Alvarez. This was a bare knuckle boxing fight where it was pretty evenly matched. In the beginning of the fight, Eddie Alvarez was actually getting the better of Mike Perry. And honestly, I thought that was going to be the way it played out. I actually did a prediction on this one, and I said that Eddie Alvarez was going to win the fight. And he didn't win, but he put on a show in the beginning of the fight. He was definitely putting on a show, and there's a lot of people who were saying that Mike Perry was holding back, but I think he was just not anticipating how good Eddie Alvarez is and just how quick Eddie Alvarez is. Because honestly, the advantage that I seen Eddie Alvarez having over someone like Mike Perry was just his pure speed and movement. He is definitely someone who is able to get in and out very well, and that's what you need against someone like Mike Perry, who is flat-footed and is more just there to bang. So that one was a crazy fight. Honestly, seeing Mike Perry win that one was just very impressive, and it was good to be wrong in that situation. But honestly, let's talk about another situation that I was wrong because a lot of the predictions that I had last night were actually wrong, to be honest. Bobby Green got knocked out, and there was a crazy late stoppage. It was very weird and wild to see, but at the same time, it's not really surprising because I don't know, having a referee in there, there's so many opportunities for things to go wrong, and what went wrong last night was the referee just didn't stop the fight in time. So Bobby's on the ground, face down, not defending himself at all, and they let him get a bunch of shots off, and it was not good for Bobby in the long run. So Bobby obviously is like a tough guy. He's gonna make it look like he's okay right now, but I can only imagine he's probably not remembering a lot right now. So definitely was wild to see. Wasn't good to see that last night, but that was wild for Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner is much better than I expected, to be honest. Jalen Turner honestly put on a great performance last night, and to see him put out Bobby Green in the manner that he did was just wild. I was not expecting that at all. But what I want to see next is Jalen Turner versus Rafael Fiziev, because if he can strike like that, then what type of show can he put on against Rafael Fiziev? That would be amazing. And also Rafael needs a big win right now, so I think that he would take that fight. In the bigger picture, it's a great win to get him back to the level that he is kind of dropping away from after the loss to Gaethje and just after I forget, I think he might have had another loss that is slipping my brain, but that loss to Gaethje definitely kind of dropped him down a pedestal. So if you could beat someone like Jalen Turner, that'd be amazing. So I think that that would be a perfect fight to schedule next, which leads me to my next topic: Armin Sarukian versus Islam Makhachev. This might be the next fight due to Armin being able to knock out Beneil as fast as he did. He literally put Beneil out faster than Charles Oliveira did, which would definitely make a lot of sense for him to get the title shot over Islam if he's able to knock out that opponent faster than Charles. And also, he has his last fight against Islam. A lot of people, like myself, think he got the better of Islam, which was wild to see, to be honest. If anyone hasn't seen that one, then definitely go watch that. That is a amazing fight to see Islam get put in the positions that he was put in, and to see Armin at the end not really affected like that, you know what I mean? Like it's just wild because we know how dangerous Islam is. So to put him in that position and to do it at such a young age. If I'm not mistaken, he was like 21 and he's like 27 now. So there's a big difference. There's going to be a big difference in a rematch. But if it's not that, then it's probably going to be Armin Sarukian versus Gaethje, which if he's going up against Justin Gaethje, that would be very interesting. Honestly, I think that Justin Gaethje may be the only one that has an opportunity of beating Armin. I think that Armin would actually have a great shot at beating someone like Islam. And as weird as it is for me to say Justin has a chance of beating Armin, but I think that or I'm saying that Justin has a chance of beating Armin, but I also think that Islam would lose to Armin, which is just weird for me to say because that Islam would beat Justin. And it's just weird MMA math how I believe that it would play out. It's so weird to say, but that's just how it works. It's wild how different matchups match up, basically. I guess that's a simple way of saying it. But if it's not Justin Gaethje, then it's gonna be either Poirier or they're gonna have him wait for Islam, which honestly I kind of think he deserves to get that Islam fight just due to the fact that he put on a very good performance against Islam before. But if it's Justin Gaethje, his next fight, then we're in for a good, really good fight. That's gonna be amazing to watch. But that's gonna be it for martial arts topics. Let's move on to some quick cannabis topics. We're not gonna be covering too much today. I haven't been able to put a bunch of categories aside yet due to the fact that I've been doing a decent amount of videos over the past few weeks, which leads me to talk about this video that I just dropped today. I did a top strains list, which is something that I think that it is very necessary to form lists like this, which if I can start doing a bunch of reviews again, and if I can have the consistency again, then I will start trying to do monthly or maybe even like a weekly one, like what's the top strain of the week or what's the top strain of the month or something along those lines. And maybe even if I can find people who have a good enough palette, then have other people throw in recommendations on what could be the strain of the week or what is the strain of the month or whatever. You know what I mean? But I do think that that is a great way for the people to not only get access to new people, but it's also a great way for growers to have like a little thing to work towards or maybe that's like I think people know what I'm trying to say. Like it's definitely something like rewarding people for good work is better than just calling people out for bad work. You know what I mean? So there always has to be yin and yang. But let's go to the next topic: outdoor cannabis effects. This is a very interesting topic because I can actually show you guys some high level outdoor cannabis right now. So what you're seeing right here is some elite outdoor cannabis. This is some hard stuff to find. To be honest, if anyone's familiar with how hard it is to grow outdoors or how hard it is to grow indoors, it's hard to grow good weed. So to find stuff that's grown really, really nice outside is a privilege. It's a true privilege. So this is some elite stuff. This is dope to actually have the opportunity to even show you guys this. Might not look fucking flashy right now, but you smoke this or even smell this, you're gonna fucking be blown away. This right here is some gas parilla. It is Fire OG times Triangle Kush times TK White 91, and it's wild. It's wild to see. It's wild to even have access to stuff like this because I don't know if anyone's been watching my channel for any amount of time, they would know that I've been gassing outdoor weed, and now that I've been talking about it a lot, I get access to it. It's kind of like if you build it, they will come type thing. You know what I'm saying? But the effects of outdoor weed, you guys can probably see. I'm not slurring my words. I'm not talking stupid. I'm not sounding like an idiot right now. I'm pretty focused and dialed in, but I'm feeling very nice. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still feeling the effects, and I haven't smoked in like a few hours at least, which should show you what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But I got some weed questions. If ever has questions, please let me know. I'm definitely trying to do more like question and answer things, and also I would love to do more. If you guys ever have recommendations on videos that you would like to see, please let me know. I'm definitely open to taking recommendations and answering questions as long as they're questions that are like serious ones. You know what I'm saying? But what's up, bro? Glad you checked that video out. Did you which one did you check out? The legal weed one? I definitely think that that should lead me to my next topic right now, actually. I think I might start doing a few more legal dispensary reviews just due to the fact that I want to give people both sides of the field. You know what I mean? I want to show people both sides just because it's fair. I think that that's fair. It shows people that both sides can be good, but either side could be bad. You know what I mean? But it's definitely something I want to start doing more. So when it comes to vapes, I have done a video about vapes before, and it didn't necessarily it probably didn't come out great just due to the fact I was probably like less educated when I did that one. But so the thing I find weird about vapes is some rosin and some distillates, some just all extracts in general burn differently. So not all strains can be put into a cart. So what that actually forces some people to do is start adding in all these like weird additives that help it burn and do all this weird shit, which is really just not safe for the consumer. So, in my humble opinion, I would say, as old school as this is, like, get a bowl. Get like something that's like, if you really want to go smoke outside or something like that, do it in a way where you can actually like know what it is. Like, especially if you're trying to hide the smell or hide the stuff like that. There is ways around it, but I will have to say, like, the sketchy thing about vapes is just once they start making it too convenient, it becomes like fast food, and you see the issues with fast food. You see how it is in the process of that. So I'm not trying to bore anyone talking about that too much, but I definitely think that that is something that people should consider. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree with you. I think that hold on, let me reread this. Yeah, so the if you don't have access to the black market stuff, that is like understandable to not watch. I understand that. But I actually think like everyone does have access to the black market stuff. It's like the same way if you walk into a dispensary, they just want to see your ID. So like say if most black market people they just want you to show them your ID on FaceTime or something like that, which some people don't feel safe about doing that, and I understand, which it is what it is, but I think that there can be some fresher, sometimes even cleaner flour on the black market if you actually know where to source it from. But it's the same thing when it comes to the dispensary. If you're not doing the research and like knowing who's who, then it's kind of just like shooting in the dark, you know? You never know who you're going to hit. But why do you think Tower 3 has some super low So Tower 3, they grow living soil and stuff. Like if you try their flour, some of their flour is like really, really good. Some of their flour is subpar, like not even good at all, in my opinion. So it's not like I'm saying that they're great, but they're definitely one of the better ones on the legal side, which isn't really saying much. I would say that the legal market is kind of trash right now, but I definitely have had some really good ones from them, but I haven't had anything from them in probably about 6 to 8 months or something like that. You know what I mean? But they have this new grower. I don't know if you guys have ever seen any of my reviews from Teaming with Terps, but Teaming with Terps is their new head cultivator or just new cultivator working with them, and he's the one that's like bringing in all of these new strains. Like I'm almost sure that he brought in the RS11 that they have now. He's bringing in all of these new high end, really like good strains. So it's dope to see that they did this collab in a way or partnership. But I think that this is probably what the future of cannabis is going to look like in a way. A lot of those heady black market growers are gonna start going to the legal side and start having to do that just because the black market side's kind of weird right now. I mean, it's still good, but it's very similar to the legal side, so kind of makes sense to go legal. You know what I mean? I probably shouldn't talk about that much. Talk about that too much. Just I don't know what people want me to share, but I definitely think that it's dope to see them bringing those genetics. You know what I mean? Like he is a breeder himself, so he has the butter wolf, he has the shrimp scampi, a bunch of different strains. I actually don't know if the shrimp scampi's from him. I'm almost sure it is, but there's like a lot of strains that he has that he's bred. So teaming up with them was not only good just to get those genetics on their side, but also like he's a really, really high end living soil grower. So he actually knows how to do all that organic stuff properly, which helps in the bigger picture. He's definitely someone who I actually want to get an interview with soon. So you probably will see that soon, to be honest. We've talked about it before, so hopefully we can get that done. But honestly, the thing with the legal side is there is like there's a lot of potential. There's like a lot of brands that really have like really good teams with them, but there's such weird laws that are like forcing them to do weird shit. It's kind of just it's part of the legal side where they have to wait a certain amount of time to get stuff tested, which ends up fucking with the flower, and it's just a weird process to be honest. One thing I did notice about that dosi is when I first got it, I got it a few times, I can't lie. And like the fresher batches of it were smoking way better. And same thing with the half pint, to be honest, which was weird because like usually soil grown flower has longevity. Like it will actually stay not just fresh for a decent amount of time, but it will stay like alive more. There's like weird indoor like cocoa grown shit that you'll have it for a month and it will just be smelling amazing, looking amazing, just tasting amazing. And after that month's done, it's gonna just taste like air. It's gonna taste like hot air. It's gonna be like the worst thing that you ever experienced, which is strange, but I don't know. Sometimes you see that with all different mediums because just weed is weed. And also when people are growing with like LEDs and all that weird shit, it plays a huge role. But I don't know. I definitely let me read this real quick. The white truffles, are you talking about the white truffles from where's the white truffles from? Are you talking about that from Harbor House? Are you talking about the white truffles? Does Tower 3 have that? Honestly, I haven't tried that one. I definitely haven't. I've been hearing great things about white truffles as a strain, but the thing about white truffles, I just really haven't had a good one yet. To be honest, I literally have had it from. I'm not even gonna start sharing brands that I've had bad experiences with. I think that's probably just unnecessary. But I've had white truffles and it just haven't had a good batch yet. But the dosi, yeah, the Nature's Heritage. To be honest with you, I've actually had Nature's Heritage a bunch of times, and it's been a while, but that is definitely something I probably should check out. That's one of the ones I should probably add to the list and do like a run through of the dispensaries and like try out a bunch of different strains and maybe even do some type of video where I compare them to the black market. Like maybe even like try my hardest to find like one strain, like a sour diesel from the black market. Definitely not sour diesel. That's a strain that I'm just not going to even play games with right now, just due to how fake the bat or the cuts are going around. But um, let's say like white truffles. Let's use that as an example. I get white truffles from the black market and compare it to one from the legal market. I feel like that would be an interesting one. But yeah, Nature's Heritage. I'll definitely add that to the list. The yeah, the it being old definitely plays a huge role. I think that that's it's weird, but I don't know. I hate to give that excuse. I hate to give that excuse because I think that that's also something that kind of shows you how good the grower is in a way. If they can't have the plant have longevity, then that is kind of like a weird thing on them, but also that could have been a storage issue. So there's a lot of different things that play a factor in how it gets old, you know what I mean? Or how it like gets bad when it's old, I should say. But Morning Dew, I've had some decent stuff from them. Definitely been impressed by it, to be honest. That's like a brand that I was very hesitant on at first when I first like seen it on the menu. I was just like Morning Dew, like what a corny name. What you know what I mean? Like hate to be like one of those chads and be like, "Oh, this is corny," but like Morning Dew, it just doesn't sound like an appealing name. But then you try it and good weed, you know what I mean? But thank you, I appreciate it. That's the thing. I definitely I definitely want to start doing these more. This should lead me to saying this right now. I probably will start doing one every Sunday. I probably will start doing a stream every Sunday. I've been super inconsistent lately, but I've been doing a lot of other shit. So definitely will start trying to do like more consistent ones, and I think Sunday will be the perfect day to do it. So I would probably say like hopefully let's try to plan for like 9 o'clock on Sundays. I think that that would probably be the best one, that the best time to schedule it for. But I do. I conversate with these brands a lot. The thing is, I respect it like a lot when these brands actually will take criticism, because think about it like this, right? A brand that, or just a person in general, a person that looks at criticism that you can work with. Let's say like this. Let me try to like tell you what I'm the angle I'm coming from, because if I'm just being like, "Oh, you're a dickhead, like you need to work on this, you need to work on that," like that's not really criticism. But if I was to say like, "All right, well, let me just say this. I think that you could do this a little bit better." If I just say that, like that's helpful. That's helpful. So some brands, they'll see that and they're actually very, very cool with that, which that's how you can see they have longevity. Those people are going to do really well in life. They're really going to do well just in the bigger picture, because they actually can see that there is flaws in their movements and they see that there's room for improvements. I don't know if I just became a rapper right there, but I think I did. But it's so corny. But what was I saying? There's always room for improvement. I just think that like humans in general, like humans that think there isn't room for improvement, they get stuck in this weird, comfortable trap of existence, and it's not good for anyone. So, what I see in the bigger picture is like any brand that's able to like, hear me out, and especially like someone like me who's doesn't have much. I'm not like coming from like some baller situation where I'm like having this like credibility to say a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Like any brand that can take what I'm saying seriously, I look at as like a brand that I can take seriously. You know what I mean? But in the bigger picture, I do take all these brands seriously. I'm not acting like any of them are jokes. I think that they all are really, they deserve a lot of respect for even be able to get to the fucking pedestal that they're at, to even open a dispensary, whatever they've done. You know what I mean? So respect to all of them, but much respect to the ones that can actually see through their own mistakes, because that's like a huge thing in life. I think that that's like a huge setback for a lot of people, is like that shit I was just talking about. But let's move on. I definitely think that that can be something that a lot of people don't want to hear me talk about. But I tried Roots and Bloom recently. Honestly, I don't think I've ever tried them. Root and Bloom. I personally, I do ask around. I do kind of do research to an extent before I grab stuff, just because I've wasted so much money and I've also burned so many bridges by just doing reviews on stuff that is just not even supposed to be on the market at all. So it's definitely something that I think honestly is like it's like it's dope to have stuff like this or stuff like Reddit. Reddit's dope because you can go on Reddit, and I'm not gonna say everyone's opinion is like creditable, because like sometimes like everyone has emotions and you know what I mean, but it just is what it is. But you can go on Reddit and you can read about different strains or brands, and I think that that can help sometimes. So it's just dope that we have this access, and it's definitely something we honestly shouldn't like, I don't know. We should use it as much as we can, because like when it comes to spending our money and actually like throwing money around, if we're getting something that's like low mids or it's just subpar at all, then it's just gonna leave a bad taste in our mouths. It's not gonna be something that we wanna keep smoking at all. So you're gonna end up like Snoop Dogg, like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna quit smoking. I've been smoking too much mids." You know what I mean? But it's because Snoop Dogg is caught up in the hype. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even gonna say he is because I have no clue what he's smoking, but most of those people in those situations are caught up in the fucking hype. Like there's so much wild free weed going around, and honestly, you guys should see. I literally have been turning down free weed lately. It's it's probably weird for me to even say that, but it's just gross, some of the stuff that's getting passed around, to be honest. It's foul. I have not tried Khalifa Kush, to be honest. I have not tried Khalifa Kush. One thing I do say though is like when it comes to the expensive weed, it does when you spend more, it does take less to get you high. So it's like the way I look at it is it's like rosin. It's like when you smoke rosin compared to smoking live resin or something like that, it's more concentrated in a way. Like you're actually getting the straight trichome heads when you're smoking hash. So it's gonna get you higher. So it's like it's interesting in the bigger picture. I do understand why some people kind of avoid spending more just due to the fact that there is a lot of room to get played. But I hope the market can clean up a little bit better and prices can get dropped down so everyone can really try some elite stuff soon. You know what I mean? I think that there are some growers doing elite like growing elite stuff that are doing like low prices, but they're just not getting any attention. It's interesting. But that's like a topic for a different day, I guess. Wedding cake from Real Bloom. Yeah, that's the thing about the dispensaries is like I've learned when it comes to dispensaries, it's literally all about the brand that you're going with. It sucks to say it, but that's just how I've noticed it. It's like if you're going to a dispensary, you have to kind of be somewhat familiar with the brand and maybe even talk to them about like what's good from them, which isn't always easy. Some of them will give you the runaround. When it comes to low prices, yeah, well, low prices is a hard one for me to say, especially due to like this is like probably something that I shouldn't speak on right now, but like just due to the fucking like economy right now, like the prices on everything are up. Like inflation's like a fucking it's a scam. It's a weird thing. Probably I probably shouldn't speak on this because I don't know how everyone feels on this topic, but prices go up across the board, and it's happened with cannabis just because cannabis people have to keep up with shit. You know what I mean? So it sucks to say, but like cannabis people are all also taking advantage of that play on like inflation, and some of them are like inflating values wild. I know some people that are charging $1,000 a zip, and people are paying it. People are buying it, eating it up, and I don't know. I don't know why people are doing it. Like at the end of the day, I do know why people are doing it because they know this grower is really doing everything clean. He's doing everything that he needs to do, and these people are also probably smoking like a joint like every week, like one joint a week. So it's like $1,000 on a zip in that situation is like wild to most normal people, but I don't know. It's just like some people will spend $1,000 on a t-shirt, and then some other people will complain about spending $5 on a t-shirt. So it's like it is a fucking weird market on all I think all markets are weird in general. I think humans like have created this like weird system of like overvaluing things, but I don't know. Yeah, for an ounce, people are spending like 1,500, maybe more for ounces of weed right now. I know for a fact 1,500. That's the most I know, but I've heard more. I've heard more. And I don't know how true like it is for other people, but there's this one brand that I know is selling like $1,000, like $1,200 ounces, and they're clearing out like instantly. It's fucking NorCal Nemo. They're doing crazy work. And also I think the $1,500 one that I heard about is from Elephant's Growth. Elephant's Growth. I'm almost sure that they do $1,500, which it's amazing, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? I 100% agree with you. When it comes to like the game, that's the fucked up issue that I kind of motivated me to even create like a YouTube and started speaking about this nonsense. Is just like there's so many people, their first experiences are getting some bullshit, some just block work that isn't even like smokable at all. So they never see any value with cannabis ever again. So it's interesting. I think like showing people the bigger picture and showing people that there is scammers, there's snake oil salesmen. I think that that's the proper way to say it. But there's snake oil salesmen out here, and there's fucking people who want to tell you that this gelato is runts, or tell you that this purple punch is gelato. It's a weird game, but it's real. It's very real. It's something that we all are somewhat playing. If you're a consumer, you're playing it because you're the one that's funding it. If you're the person distributing it, you're the problem. Or everyone's the problem that's not learning, in my opinion. But it's like just weird because in the bigger picture, there is a lot of knowledge and access to knowledge out here, such as like podcasts like the First Smoke of the Day. They run down a lot of shit, and there's also them doing interviews with like a lot of different brands and growers where some of these brands are literally like telling on themselves the whole video. They're like, "Oh yeah, like I'm just selling these dummies like LCG, telling them it's this," and it's like people aren't connecting these pieces. Like, how are these people still making money when they're I don't know, but it's it's reality, and it's weird because at the end of the day, like people just allow it to happen. People just fund it and act like everyone else is the problem that like is kind of like confused about it. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's interesting in the bigger picture. It's like it's so interesting because it's like documented placebo effect. It's like you could literally watch the placebo effect happen in real time. Like these people are like opening these bags of weed and they're like, "Oh my god, it's a strawberry Snickle Fritz Pop Tarts." It's like, "Oh my god, yeah, it's it. This is it." It's like, no, you dumb fuck. That is lemon cherry gelato, and it doesn't even smell like anything strawberry. It doesn't smell like anything Pop Tarts or anything. It's like, where is the confusing going? It's like the thing in my brain that I'm seeing is like people want it to be that so bad that they are ended up smelling it and they're getting these senses of it, and it's like the placebo effect. It's literally a real thing. It's wild to see, but it's happening. So it's like I don't know. I don't even know like how to like even like tell the people about it because sometimes it's like not what you say, it's how you say it. And I feel like sometimes I'm like a little bit maybe like a little bit too harsh with the way I go about saying it. So people are like, "Oh, this dude's just a hater. He's just a dickhead." I think you're the dickhead if you can't see through the smoke. You know what I mean? I think like anyone that's like looking at like the way I'm saying something is probably just emotional in that situation. If you're looking at the way I am saying it, then that's causing an emotional reaction. So it's like it's weird, but it's just human nature in the bigger picture. It's so easy to trick a man, but it's not easy to tell a man he's been tricked. Just reality. Lemon cherry gelato from Nature's Heritage was one of my favorite strains this year. So when it comes to lemon cherry gelato, I'm not going to bash the strain. I think that it's all about how the strain's grown and who's growing it. Um, there's huge facilities out here that people are like throwing all these weird chemicals on the plants to boost the rate of how fast it grows or how much it's going to grow. So it's like just putting the strain into this weird position. If anyone's familiar with cannabis, then they probably have seen the Bubba Kush era, where the Bubba Kush era turned into this mass produced nonsense weed, where it first started off for going like for 500 a zip. Bubba Kush was originally going for like 500 a zip, and then you couldn't get it gone for like 100. Like people were selling it for fucking the cheapest amounts, and it's wild because like right now Bubba Kush, if I'm not mistaken, it's going for like at most like $200, which that 500 to 200, if people see the inflation of other stuff and then see that deflation, it should show people what happened. It got mass produced to this point where people no longer even wanted to see it around. So they were just like, take it for this price, take it for lower, take it for lower, take it for lower. And that's bad. That's not good. But that's the same thing that's happening with lemon cherry gelato. Lemon cherry gelato, throughout inflation, throughout all other strains, their prices went up. Lemon cherry gelato's price went down. Do you guys see why? It's because the value of it went down because when it got overproduced and got put into the wrong hands, and people literally just weren't able to keep the quality at any level. So the price just went down and down and down and down and down, which ended up making lemon cherry gelato the new Bubba Kush, which a lot of people that might go over their heads, but go watch like a Boston Richie song where he's saying he's the Bubba Man. Do you understand why he's saying that? He's saying that because he can get these in things in for the cheap, get them gone for the high. It's like a scam in a way. It's like a scam rapper saying like, "Oh yeah, I just got all these cards and I just did this thing." It's like it's weird, but it's reality, you know? Inza. So Inza, yeah, Inza. I'm not gonna say anything like bad about them. Definitely not worth high prices. Let's say that. They're people who can see the inflation of weed and they see that they have great genetics. They have great genetics and they can charge high for it. So they definitely are doing that. But in the bigger picture, I don't have anything bad about I don't think I have anything like really bad to say about them. They're just mass producing stuff that shouldn't be going for that high of a price. That's probably the worst thing I could say. But I think that Enza is something that the community needs. I think people need to see that there is a difference between that and then like I don't know what's like a popular strain from Enza. I can't think of anything popular from them right now, but think of whatever their most popular strain is, and then if you got it from them compared to maybe even Tower 3 or maybe Morning Dew or Harbor House or whatever, there will be a difference in the quality and just the way it overall smokes. And that should show you that there's a huge difference in the way growers do things. It's like the same thing with like a cheeseburger. You could go to Five Guys or whatever high end cheeseburger place that's around you, and they might cook a really nice cheeseburger. But then you go to McDonald's and it's almost gonna be like it's like Play-Doh. It's like, what is this? It's like there's videos of McDonald's cheeseburgers or like documented things where people have fucking cheeseburgers in like a doctor's office for like over a year, years and years, and the thing still stays the same. It's because they're putting all these like preservatives and nonsense, which is kind of the same thing that they're doing with all that budget weed. They're putting the salts, they're putting all that nonsense on there. I don't know if you guys haven't seen it yet. I just did a video about salts. Go watch that. Go watch that. Very interesting video. I think that I didn't fully cover it in depth, but I think that I covered it just like enough for someone who's not really wanting to hear it in depth. That's going to be what they want to hear. You know what I'm saying? But let's see. Is there any more topics for today? Is there anything you guys want to hear? Is there any questions that you guys have? This has probably been the best live stream so far just because I've actually had topics ready. I've been super unorganized before, which won't happen again. I definitely want to I want to have a guest very soon. I have two lined up already that are very interesting people. Very interesting people. Both of them actually living soil. Actually, I'm not gonna say two because I basically have three people lined up to do interviews with, but two for certain. Two that I most definitely will have in the very near future. So I'm very interested to actually do those. I want to actually start doing more documentary style videos, more interviews, and more stuff that can actually educate the people in a way where it's not just me like yelling into a microphone, just like make myself look crazy. You know what I mean? Because if I can get the message across with other people, shows you guys that it's not just one person's opinion or opinion at all. Sometimes some of this stuff is actually facts. You know what I mean? So it can be interesting. I think that if I have the proper guests on here, it'll be something that the people will actually be entertained by and also can learn from too. It's something that overall will benefit the community if I start having people who not only actually like know more than me, but um, I can actually ask them questions and all that shit too. So one of the people is very familiar with no-till, living soil growing, and just making hash, and very aware of just like all the differences in between like the growing styles and all that fun stuff, which is really dope. I think that that's going to be a super interesting one to do. But then the other one is a really high end small batch grower who is just really doing some high end living soil stuff as well. So both of them can share a lot of like knowledge on the organic side. But I want to start having like interviews that are in all different types of ways, like not just like educational ones too, but more like fun ones too. You know what I mean? So the people can be entertained, not just educated, but entertained as well. You know what I mean? So one of these ones, I can almost assure you, it's an entertaining guy. It's an entertaining guy. I think he's a fun person. I think he's someone who will be able to get the message across in a very fun way. I think that it's definitely going to be really cool to see. But is there any questions from the people before I wrap this one up for the day? I want to go smoke. I can't lie to you guys. About to smoke. I'm actually gonna smoke some of this OG Kush breath. I was gonna smoke some of the Gasparilla, but OG Kush breath is what it's gonna be for the night. No questions. All right. I was gonna try to get it to the hour mark, but it's not looking like we're about to do it. It's probably not gonna be 10 more minutes of me babbling on. I don't want to do that to you guys. So before I wrap it up, I definitely will have a few more videos this week. It was actually my birthday yesterday, so I kind of have been just like loading up on videos before trying to actually get stuff ready for this weekend, trying to actually throw stuff out there so could have time, you know what I mean? But this is definitely going to be more of a consistent thing. I'm going to try to not only do this more consistently, but I'm also going to do more documentary style videos. So definitely be prepared for that. Ooh, I don't want to agree or disagree with that. I would love to have someone. I would love to see it. I would love to actually see the flower and actually see if that is true. Because if it's sprayed and it's on the legal market, that is amazing. That's amazing that they would even be able to get away with that. But it's very possible that they are there is very weird ways of growing and like salts and different stuff that you can add in there to boost different things, and what it will do is it'll make it smell really nice for a certain amount of time. I was literally just talking about this during this live stream actually. There's some strains that are grown like in cocoa or grown with all these like weird additives and stuff, and they'll literally smell and taste super good for like a month, 2 months, maybe like 3 at most. And after that certain amount of time, it's literally gonna die. It's wild to see, to be honest, because plants don't die like that. Like even well, some plants do, you know what I mean? But like weed isn't supposed to die that fast, and it's not supposed to be so like not sticky and just dead when you're smoking it. It's weird to see some of the strains and just some of the stuff that's going around on the legal side, because it's just so mass produced that it's grown into the ground almost. So it's not even really able to get people any effects. But I don't want to shit on it too much. I definitely think that it is definitely possible that they possibly could be spraying it, but I'm not going to deny that. But one thing I will say is it is also possible that they are using some sort of like weird growing technique that is making it so it smells really nice or whatever. But I do appreciate everyone for watching this one today. This probably was the best one yet. So big love to everyone, and I do appreciate you. Much appreciation for the happy birthday. I definitely I will have a bunch more stuff coming in the near future. So big respect to everyone.